Hey guys, Mike here. So got a nice little rally on the Qs and the SPY, which if you're watching last night's video, which probably was kind of hard because YouTube around the world went down. We got a rally in the market, but are we getting ready to hit some huge cyber attack or something? Because remember when like T-Mobile and AT&T and whatever else went down last month, and X keeps going out, Instagram keeps going out. I think X is down again as I'm speaking right now. It's like, what in the heck is going on, man? If you happen to have anything about that, let me know. But just amazing to watch all these major companies' sites go down a lot of times on the worldwide level. So not sure what's happening there. But again, sorry if you didn't get to watch last night's video. I missed out on quite a few videos because mine was down. But we'll go into some very interesting charts. I mean, some of this stuff, you got to go back like to my like World War II when my grandpa was a young lad, okay? To see some of the stuff that's happening like with the Dow, like for the, I guess, it'll happen at the end of this month for the second time in my lifetime, but to go back even farther, you got to go back to like the 30s, 40s, and 50s to see the same kind of thing happening on the Dow. The RSP, it's been 20 plus years since we've seen what I'm about to show you today happen on it. And again, global stocks continue to get bought up. I'll show you that as well. We'll talk about MU. Got a lot of call action days. They're getting ready to take another leg up. Some other stocks that are flagging. Again, a lot of these is going to have to go risk back on for these stocks to go. But yeah, you're starting to see kind of these same formations appearing in the market. A lot of big bets on software. We'll get into that as well. But you can see on these weekly ETF flows, man. I mean, look at this. Global again. I mean, I've been sharing this with you for 2 or 3 years now. I think this is 4 or 5 weeks in a row. I mean, you're seeing just crazy amounts of money. You're seeing large cap. They sold that. They didn't go into that at all. They sold it more than went into it. Seeing bonds. You might notice TLT doing a breakout. Still see some cyclicals, non-cyclicals, but it's the global ETFs and stocks that continue to go. And, at some point in time, you think they got to start getting overstretched. That's for sure. Equal weight outperformance. First time since 1993, I believe, right there, that the equal weight is outperforming the S&P by such a large margin. I mean, there it is now, but you got to go back. It was even bigger in 93 right there. So second or third largest time we've seen this. Doesn't happen that much, that's for sure, just by a wide margin at this point in time. But, normally the S&P is doing its thing. So, again, another one to look at here. This is crazy to me. I didn't think I'd see this. S&P Consumer Staples Forward PE. Now, we always talk about, oh, look at the tech. Oh, my God, it's so overpriced. It's getting back to its dot-com levels. And then here is Consumer Staples. Like, yeah, there it is. Still got room to run. Still got room to run. And when you look at Walmart, which is reporting tomorrow, look at this thing. This is its 4 PE compared to all the Mag 7. It's 39.4 for Walmart. Look at the rest of them down there, which, of course, most of them just sold off like crazy. And Walmart's been running up like a tech stock, it seems. I mean, look at that. That is amazing. I don't think I'd ever thought I'd see a chart like that. But again, do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like, subscribe button if you get anything out of this. I really appreciate it. Just hit the thumbs up at the bottom and subscribe. And while I'm thinking about it, don't forget to put your question for Saturday's video. It can be ticker symbols, market questions, whatever. It doesn't matter to me, okay? And now let's get into this right here. And then the Dow. The Dow will be up 10 months in a row if it is higher in February. Since 1900, that's only happened, I think it's 5 times actually, because you can look there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the one happened in 2016, I think that is. But you got to go back to the 30s, 40s, and 50s, my grandpa's days, to see something like that on a consistent level. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. But that's where money, has shifted to. And it's not up some crazy amount this year. It's just Dow Jones Transportation is kicking butt. But when you look at the Dow, I mean, this is where we had talked, right? So, okay, got this nice sell down, came down here. Basically gave all those gains back, but mitigated this imbalance. Let's see what happens when we push back up and mitigate this imbalance. That would be the draw. Do we get something like this, or do we just continue on with the norm and industrials and transportations and the RSP and IWM, and that's what just rules the roost, right? Or does maybe some money flow out of what's been working and then start heading into big tech again, software, things of that nature? Or is it going to be the same? When you go over and look at Dow Jones Transportation, like we talked about, going to come down. We bounced off this trend line, 0.79 fib, got in this imbalance. What's going to happen here when we move up? Well, that's what we were talking about. So now we have mitigated that huge imbalance. That was a 7.7% from the high to the low sell-off in one day. So that was a huge sell-off. profit taken. And so now the question is, does this become a lower high, or is just what's been working going to continue to work? And they continue to move up because they moved up a lot. Now, MU, crazy amount of calls here, as you can see, just millions of them rolling in. Is this getting set up for, obviously, its next move up, as memory is still an issue? When we look over, you can see the chart, what a crazy chart. Flag, run up, flag, run up. Now, what are we doing? Really more of a triangle pattern, but we'll say, flag right there if you want to, but really just wedging right here. So it's wedging, going to be some move here. Semiconductors, and this is one of them, have been moving up like crazy, and so it's just got up to that trend line, rejected again today. It's above all those short-term moving averages we talked about, the 8, 13, the 20 right here. And so really just follow which way it breaks. I mean, I think obviously it leans towards up because where's the trend been? You go on a weekly, it's still up, okay? And so there's no news about, oh, we got no problem with memory issues and they're not going to be spending a lot of money on AI anymore and all this stuff. And so, SanDisk, MU, Western Digital still seem to be squeezing here. So, that's what you're looking for, is it just hang on to these moving averages right here, break above that, then it looks like we're going to be our next run if it can break whatever that last high was. What was it, like 455 or something? If we do get risk on, speaking of AI, data centers, the NBIS is one of them. It's flagging right here. Last time it flagged, it reached that area, but we'll find out that's going to be the case. And that took a while, right? Just because you have flag, I mean, he's going to hit it in one day. It means it's going to take time, but you're going to have what? Risk on. You're going to have the Qs. You're going to have the small high beta stuff start moving here. You're going to have Coreweave, for example. It's in the same group. It's another data center. They're both flagging right now. But this got a lot more resistance right above it, because this one has all those anchor VWAP and the all-time high, the IPO price, the all-time low, and then you got the 200 and the 100 there as well as resistance coming across at 114.15. So I was saying, if this one can get above that, which last time it could not, major rejection, then you'll have an explosive move up, there's no doubt, but it's going to have to be risk on. This whole narrative of AI and AI bubble and all that stuff is, it's going to have to shift. They always like to shift the narrative and stuff. And so again, talking about risk on, crypto, what do you see Bitcoin kind of doing? I mean, weak as can be. Every time it can't sustain like any rallies whatsoever. It can't even get above 70 and hold, for crying out loud. And so, if this breaks that line, not good. Heading back down, right? Price 65. Well, if we break to the other side, 73, 74 will be that level. And of course, that'll help you out. On your BM&Rs, your misters, because if Bitcoin goes, Ethereum's going to go right behind it, no doubt about it. It can barely hold 2,000, honestly. And so, we'll see if that's going to happen. And we know these narratives can shift so fast. It's always amazing how it works. And we will talk about a headline to watch out for when we talk about this. Now, software, you can see IGV, what's it doing? You see a lot of the same pattern here. It's kind of just basing out right here. It's holding right here. There's something else there. There's something else there that's holding up. That's the 200 moving average, but it's flagging right here, and it's just bouncing off the 200 weekly moving average. So if it breaks above, you can finally get going, because what you're seeing is, Microsoft's been basing at the bottom. Palantir had a decent day. We talked about it was at a bounce point. And so we'll see. But again, a lot of these got this flagging pattern. So if it breaks above, Palantir and Microsoft make up a huge portion of IGV. And so even if they start heading up to the next level, that's going to bring IGV with it. And these tend to move an explosive move. They're going to move, okay? But, you see here's app. A lot of them are coming in either to resistance levels, which they could explode through, or get rejected. There's no doubt about it. Adobe's really doing nothing. You got CRM right here. And also be looking for, one thing we know about some of these, look at these rounding bottoms. See if that starts to play on some of these, okay, as they base out and everything. Oracle, again, it had that flagging pattern, broke out, retested. Just not really getting going, but it's like it's flagging again, getting really tight in these areas here. Palo Alto ended up going down on earnings. If it recovers, you got CrowdStrike right here. It's going to report probably, I think it's in the beginning of March, if I'm not mistaken. We'll move this trend line, but still hadn't broke above this. In the past, when it has, been a big move up. Again, you're going to need a narrative change to happen. And the one thing that hasn't happened with a lot of these to watch out for is I hadn't seen any DeepSeek release yet. And that's the other thing, the other shooter drop, right? Which if they release, which you remember happened the first time they released out a DeepSeek model. So if they do release one out and it shows to be this crazy coding monster they claim is going to be and everything else, we got to see how these stocks are going to react. I mean, that's going to be key, so we got to watch out for that. And one thing, speaking of AI, this came out today. It was saying Microsoft revised its partnership agreement with OpenAI locking a 20% share in OpenAI's total revenue through 2032. It was supposed to end in 2030. So that's huge for Microsoft, assuming OpenAI can actually generate revenue. However, OpenAI gained more flexibility to work with other cloud providers, which they couldn't do before, and is no longer bound by Microsoft's first right of refusal for compute capacity. So that actually is a good thing. And of course, Microsoft secured a roughly 27% stake in the company. So, I mean, if OpenAI succeeds, Microsoft succeeds, OpenAI has a flop, it's going to be a huge drag on all these stocks. There's no doubt about it. Now, SPY right here, again, this trend line coming up here from May of last year is where we got rejected right there. We did hold above the 685 area. So again, 675 is key, 685. Moving, if we can break through that trend line, clearly 690, 692 is the next on deck as it mitigates that huge daily imbalance, which is another thing it's got to kind of push through and everything. But I mean, it was a volatile day. I mean, it really was. And we'll see what's going to happen tomorrow, the day's of expiration, obviously Friday's OPEX. Are we going to get something like that? Maybe that's the case. Wouldn't surprise us because it's happened multiple times before, but you need the VIX to subside even more. Okay, we need bulls to push through that trend line, to push through 290. And I mean, until NVIDIA reports, unless there's some other crazy news headline, which could be coming up here when we talk about this, which is oil. Kind of interesting to see oil keep bouncing off this trend line multiple times, not quite getting above the 68 area. And I've done a members video with this in here for the members, but there's 3 different trend lines. 2 we have broke out of, retested, and went higher, okay, which is the big long one, the smaller one. And so we got this one right here coming back from July of 2023, which is a long one as well, that we still need to get to. And it may take a headline. And I think it's going to have something to do with Iran, because we know last time Israel did this, it pumped to the left, you can see it. In 2025, it pumped oil 20% in a matter of days. And so that's what it would take to hit that trend line right there. But that could also shake the market at the same time. And so watch out for this. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff on Twitter and everywhere else, even on the government website and stuff. And we're moving a lot of arsenal over there, a lot of ships and things. So if that happens, watch out, especially if it spikes oil a lot. IWM real quick, just to update, still wedging, as we talked about last week. Just look for something like this until it breaks. Usually you would think it's a break to the upside, because IWM has been doing really well. But just watch and see which way it breaks first. Love for a break and retest in either direction. I'd be happy. When it comes to earnings tomorrow, Walmart's going to be key. John Deere, Lemonade's insurance as well. Watch out for that one. Wayfair. And then in the afternoon, Open Door, Transocean, Newmont. Got some gold miners. And then you have like Sprouts, for example, and then Texas Roadhouse down there, which is a restaurant chain. And then, of course, when it comes to data, be looking for unemployment claim in the morning. We'll see if they come in less than expected or higher. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. And then, of course, CB Leading Index month over month. Crude oil inventory. And then we get the big stuff on Friday, okay? So hope you guys got some out of it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe, please. Really appreciate that. Still going to try to hit my goal of 100K this year so I can get my little button right there. I'm going to sign up the membership. Let's McDonald's combo at $7.99 or $85 for the whole year. It's everything you get with it. Just hit the first link down below, the bottom in the description right there, right below the video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another fun one.